What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Campus Pro. It's been almost what 2 months, a month. Finally getting a video out for y'all for March Madness. In today's videos, we're gonna talk about bracket busters. So we're gonna have like 5 points we're gonna go over that we don't want mistakes that we don't want y'all to make, and we're gonna point out some things that typically happen in March Madness. Again, it's March Madness, anything can happen, but our goal is to help y'all and give y'all some tips in making y'all's bracket.
Yeah, and like Aiden said, we don't want to see y'all bust this March. All right, let's get right into it.
Okay, our first point. So we've never had a Final Four where all one seeds have made it. Like, okay, last year we had that. Like, we haven't had a Final Four where it's been back-to-back years where it's all one seeds. So don't pick all one seeds to make the Final Four this year. That rarely ever happens. Like last year, that was an exception. Those four teams were phenomenal. So the odds are it's not gonna happen again. Preston, do you think like all four teams are gonna make the Final Four, all four
You
one
know,
seeds this year?
last year we had the blessing of being there and experiencing that, but this year I don't think it's
Good.
gonna happen. I think someone's gonna go down. I don't know who it's gonna be. I really have no idea who's gonna be, but I just know it's not gonna be all one seeds. I bet you a two seed sneaks and maybe like Iowa State gets hot or Houston might get hot again, but it's
It's
definitely not gonna be all one seeds this year.
It's March where anything can happen. But yeah, I would be
Anything
shocked,
can happen.
absolutely shocked to see if it was all one seed again. The odds of that are so slim. Our
Mhm.
second point, don't pick a one seed or a two seed to lose in this year's bracket. Every one seed, every two seed this year have been dominant all season long. And yeah, we've had what 15s beat twos here and there. We've had 16s beat twice in
Twice,
history.
twice, twice.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. FDU, sure they're in this tournament, or I don't think they're in this tournament, but what was the school that beat Virginia a couple years ago? UMBC. They're in this
UMBC,
tournament. Don't
they
pick
are.
them. Don't pick them to beat the one seed. The one seeds and two seeds this tournament are not losing, so don't pick them. Preston,
Yeah,
do you agree
these
with
are
that?
not these are not the old one seeds. These are dominant teams. The transfer portal has really cooked some of the lower seed teams, and some of these big schools are really might overpower some of these schools, and some of the spreads are larger than they've ever been.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Some of these games are very tricky to pick this
Mhm.
year. Our third point, okay, yeah, 12 seeds are gonna beat five seed. It's gonna happen. In my opinion, this is always a tricky spot in the bracket. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I? Because like I always feel like it's gonna happen, and usually it does.
Mhm.
Sometimes it doesn't. 35% of the time, a 12 seed will beat a five seed during March Madness.
What
Preston, do you think? What were you say?
Yeah, I mean, usually in my bracket, or usually a 12 seed does beat a 5 seed, but I don't think it happened last year, did it? No?
Last year, it was McNeese versus Clemson.
I see
Yeah,
Clemson.
and then in
But yeah,
2024, it
Clemson.
was
Yeah.
James Madison in Wisconsin, and then Grand Canyon also beat St. Mary's as well in 2024. So it does happen. A 12
It
seed has
definitely does
won.
happen.
Yeah, definitely. A 12 seed has won in 34 out of the last 40 March Madness tournaments. So it's in my opinion, it's the trickiest game to pick because there's chances are it's going to happen, but you just don't know which 12 seed to
Yeah.
pick.
It's something I
Um,
would say at least pick one 12 seed to win. I think that's your best bet because it usually happens, but it really depends on matchup. Because really, the 12 seeds are always these like really explosive teams that are down low in the lower conferences, and they're really here to play.
yeah, and I want to like highlight a couple of the 5-12 games. We have St. John's and UNI. St. John's a five seed, I believe. Let me double check that.
Yeah, St. John's is
Um,
a 5.
yeah, they're five. They're playing 12 seed Northern Iowa. Don't pick against St. John's.
St. John's is one of the hottest teams in hoops right now. They started this year like 9-5, and they ended like what 20 something and six. Like
Yeah, they've
they
won
had an
19 of
insane
their last
run.
they've won 19 of their last 20 games, including two big wins over UConn. They did have one blowout loss to UConn. Bad games happen, but this St. John's team is legit. I think they're better than a
Mhm.
five seed, honestly.
They
Northern
are.
Iowa, they play a slow offensive game. And they play this defensive style that can favor higher seeds. So I think St. John's will be in fine in this game. Don't fall for this. But
Mhm.
I want to point out one game. We have another video coming out of this, but if you were gonna pick a 5-12, the game that I would highlight is Texas Tech and Akron. Akron is they're the best 12 seed in my opinion. Tech is without JT Toppin. Christian Anderson, another great player for Tech, has been banged up this year. He's coming off a groin injury and he's gonna play
Mhm.
in March Madness. But still, Akron is 30 spots higher on KenPom than Miami, Ohio. And keep in mind, Miami, Ohio is
Yeah.
a team that went 31
Yeah,
and
this is
0.
crazy. Yeah, because the thing
Um,
is, Akron, they're such a fast-paced team. But I mean, Tech at the same time, Tech could easily blow them out by 20. But at the same time,
exactly.
Akron could keep it close, and they could would definitely win this game because they're playing really one of the fastest-paced teams in all of college basketball right now. And they played Miami, Ohio. They beat them once, and they lost a very close game the other time. And they're a much better overall all-around team than Miami, Ohio really is.
I agree. Yeah, Akron's a better team, but you got to keep in mind this is a team I believe that has zero quad one wins. They're 20-0 in quad three wins, but they haven't faced competition like Tech. Tech's played in the crazy Big 12 conference where they're playing
Hmm.
number one, number two every freaking night. So like this is gonna be a really hard game for Akron to win. But if you were to pick a 12 and 5, I would highlight this game. Tech is down their best player, their second best player is banged up. So yeah, this could be a game where Akron comes in and wins. It's definitely the potential is there. Our fourth point, don't this is my honest opinion. Don't pick Gonzaga to make the Sweet 16. Uh, you might disagree with that. I'll let you talk about that. And don't pick Miami, Ohio to make the Sweet 16. Don't a lot of people are gonna look at the record and be like, yo, they're 31 and 0. Oh my God, or they're 31 and 1. This team is amazing. This team was the last team to get in the freaking tournament. Don't pick this team
They're
to
not even
win.
in
Don't
yet, really, though.
they're
That's the
they're playing
thing.
a first four game. This team, if they make it out of the first four, don't pick them to make the Sweet 16. Don't pick them to beat two other teams. They play nobody all year. I think their strength of schedule is like 200, 300. They play nobody. Gonzaga, Preston, I'll let you talk about Gonzaga, but they are without Braden Huff, arguably one of their best players.
Mhm.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing about Gonzaga, every single year, their record is like 31 and 0, 30 and 2, 31 and 0. The record always looks so pretty, but then they come to the playoffs and you're like, man, I mean, Gonzaga, they used to be top tier dominance. They used to get all these five-star recruits that were super special, like especially when they went national championship game against Baylor. But like the past few years, they really haven't been all that. Their record is pretty because, like he said, they don't play anybody. It's just like Miami, Ohio. They're the same thing, but a little different levels. Gonzaga is definitely better. Gonzaga
Um,
does play a couple teams here and there, but I would say Gonzaga, especially with the best player. But speaking of Gonzaga, they have a very favorable matchups because round one, whatever, but round two, they could potentially play BYU. And BYU, we all know Richie Sanders is out for the year, so we have no idea if BYU is even going to do it. If AJ is going to be good round one, we'll see if BYU even gets to round two, but I guess we'll
that's
see.
yeah, that's a BYU. I don't BYU is a tricky matchup in the first round. Another game to watch out for. But yeah, speaking of Gonzaga, I mean they play good. They'll play in the good teams like beginning of the year. They'll play like top 10 teams. Yeah,
Mhm.
but throughout conference play, they're playing nobodies. I mean we were just talking right before this video that I didn't know Santa Clara was in the WCC. That's impressive that they got an at-large bid. You were telling me how they beat St. Mary's twice. That's good. So I mean maybe the WCC is better than I thought it was. They had three teams in, but still Gonzaga. I don't know, man. I don't. We were talking about how they lost to Portland as well. Like I didn't even like Portland. Like that's a school. They lost to Portland by 7 points, guys. So just be careful and be willful when you're picking this Gonzaga team with them
Mhm.
circumstances. But our fifth and final point: do not rely on teams that are dependent on star players or a couple of guys who run the show. This is kind of a point I was coming in with. I don't know. You might disagree. My biggest like point here would be like Darius Acuff on Arkansas or like AJ on BYU. Like these teams are one man shows. I mean, they have Rob Wright, sure, but like these teams are one man shows. Like if they're not hot in March, like that's danger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the past few years, these teams they had these very good players, but usually the national championship we see they have players around these really good players. Like last year, Florida, they had Walter Clayton, but they had all those surrounding pieces around them. And some of them are still here to this day playing for
Mhm.
Florida, which who got the one seed. So those are amazing players. And like Duke always has players upon players. So like mo most champions are not going to have one guy because if you shut that one guy down, the team, easy to say, they're
Yeah.
cooked.
Or you get double team, the team's gonna fall apart. You need a like you're saying like the best teams. Every player can score. Every player has a role. And if you have one team
Mhm.
where they're just a star putting the team on the back, that's trouble in March. That's my opinion. But yeah, is there any other points you want to make out for people trying to make their brackets? Like, hey, don't do this. Or maybe lean towards this.
All I'm gonna say is all those 8 to 9 matchups, I think you're better off just flipping a coin. I'm not gonna lie.
That's valid. I was telling you earlier is like, make a bracket like where you're doing it like 60 seconds. I'm busy, bro. It doesn't lock. Like I was telling you earlier, like make a bracket in 60 seconds. Make one bracket where you're going through and picking every team as fast as you can. Like don't second guess. Just go with your gut when you're originally picking your team and do a little bit of research. But it's March. Research can only take you so far,
You
I
know,
feel
like
like.
you said, do a little bit of research, but don't do too much research because
Exactly.
you'll be overthinking everything.
That's when you mess up. But don't follow you go on ESPN, you'll follow those experts. I kid you not, their brackets end up being the worst. Like in my personal experience, I'll follow these guys' picks and my bracket ends up sucking. I'm like, these guys watch so much basketball, college basketball. Like this is their job. And like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, all
But
right.
yeah, those are some of our points. We wish all the best of luck. Preston, we're gonna talk about the
Oh
pool.
yeah. So tomorrow we're gonna be making a post of the Campus and Pro Bracket Challenge, and I'm gonna post the password and everything on. The password is just gonna be Campus with a capital C, and I'll post a link to our bracket. It's not gonna be our official bracket. We're just having a little graphic of a bracket, and give y'all a link for y'all to join the bracket so y'all can compete against us. Maybe beat us, or maybe we'll
You'll probably
smack
beat
y'all.
us, bro. And the more you know, the less it works in March, I've learned. But
That's
that's gonna
right.
wrap up to this video. We have a couple more coming out for y'all. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, follow us on X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And yeah, good luck this March.